So I'm trying to find out what could possibly be the problem. Um, Toluwanimi, Omolade, Olaoluwa Kiton. Can you guys hear me over here? Um, what's wrong? Okay, yeah. So I see that you guys can hear me now. That's awesome. I'm not sure what went wrong, but I'm so happy that now you can all hear me. Right. My name is Timmy. For those of us that perhaps are not familiar with Cowrywise or the Cowrywise Ambassadors program before now, and I work with the growth team at Cowrywise, and I also lead the Cowrywise Campus Ambassadors community. This is something that for me is something that I really, really do enjoy doing, right? And if you're a Careers Campus Ambassador, you already know this, right? And we started the career series in 2024 after we figured out that we keep getting we keep getting questions or requests for advice regarding how to get started, regarding choosing a career path, regarding knowing what to do, where to start from, and even from people, experienced professionals, to say that, I mean, I want to move from what I currently do right now. I want to switch my career path. I want to do something else, right? And we thought that it was important to help people navigate that path, right? And then we started the career series across, I think, six major career tracks. We looked at product marketing, um, product management, social software engineering, product design or design in general. We also looked at I'm trying to remember a few other ones that we looked at right now. Software engineering. If you can remember, you maybe want to say, let me know in the chat box so that I know that people are really following, right? Okay, yeah. Software engineering, thank you. Product design, thank you. Um, Data analytics, thank you. I know we had data analytics from Moyolua from Bloomberg. We had product management from Awere from Spotify. We had software engineering from Chisholm from Microsoft. We had marketing from Temilade from Google. We had design from Fei from Cowrywise. We had okay, yeah, we had accounting and finance from Idris. Idris was at, I think, Ernst and Young at the time, but he's now left Ernst and Young, right? We also had human resources from Ruth. Ruth was at Bloomberg at the time. So yeah, this year we have, I mean, as you can see, it's a lot more robust. It's a lot more. I mean, last year we just had it on Zoom. On Zoom, people joined in on Zoom, and that was all. But right now we are making it a lot more robust. You can see already from the different outlook of things, transitioning or bringing it down to YouTube, so we can have a lot more seamless experience, right? And trust me, you are in for a ride. We have put in so much effort. We have put in so much time. We have put in so much into this generally, right? From ensuring that we get the best of the best speakers that we possibly can get, right? And it's fun. Really really interesting how it was so easy. It was so easy to convince the speakers to be a part of this impact focused session, right? We just sold the vision to them, and they bought into it and said, you know what, let's do this, right? And here we are today, wanting to have the first session. So thank you so much to every one of you on the call right now. We still expect to have we are 9 minutes past 4 p.m. We still expect to have a lot more people join the session as we go by. But yeah, very quickly before I bring in Enniye onto the call, I will just quickly speak to who Enniye is, right? So that for those of you who do not know yet, so you can get a bit more familiar. So I will just go ahead to share my screen with Enniye's bio. Give me a second. Pa, 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 pa. Okay, yeah. This is Enniye's bio, right? And I'm sure that you must have seen this already across different social media platforms, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Instagram, or even LinkedIn, right? Or perhaps even your WhatsApp channel or WhatsApp, or your respective campus-based WhatsApp groups. For those of you who are campus ambassadors, right? She currently serves as the consumer marketing manager for Spotify, covering Nigeria and West African region, right? And before Spotify, she's had stints of work experience across some of the other, a couple of other tech firms and even non-tech firms in Nigeria, from having to work at Sunfi, an energy tech company, to also having to work at Enniye, right, and a few other companies in Nigeria, and now today she's at Spotify. She particularly enjoys um, optimization around whether in-app or landing pages, right? And she also enjoys working on performance marketing. I mean, at this point, I would rather want to leave Enniye to do to pick up from this point, right? And I trust that she will do so well, and you would definitely enjoy the session. We just also want to pass this information to mention that if at the course of the session you have questions you would like to ask, be sure to jot them down somewhere so that when it's time for us to take in questions and for Enniye to provide answers to those questions, you can just drop them in the chat box on YouTube. Right. So till then, I want you to please use your favorite emoji in the chat box so we can bring up Enniye. Can you react with your favorite emojis or send in your favorite emojis to the chat box? We are waiting. Okay, okay. So I will just go ahead. So, and you please confirm that you can hear me. We're about to bring it up. Um, and I'm not sure if you are speaking, but you're perhaps muted.
Um,
Okay, yeah,
Hi, can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you. Thank you so much
Oh, thank you.
for joining us. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this with us. We cannot
Um,
wait to have you take over the next 30, 40, 50 minutes of our lives, really. So yeah.
Okay, okay, all right. It's good to meet everyone on here. And you will find out a little bit about me and my career journey as we go along. And something to say is that you might have seen this online every now and then when you want to maybe how you do a simple Google search, how do I start a career in marketing? There are probably a few things that you have seen, but what I hope that this session does for you is it gives you some sort of clarity, like where I am right now and where I'm heading to. These are the steps to take. I'm happy to take any other questions that you have, so we can just quickly go into the session. Amy, do you want to bring up the
Oh yeah, sure.
Yes, so this is me. So starting a career in marketing, right? You can go to the next slide, the opening slide. All right. There's really we have to start with what marketing actually is, right? We have to start with what marketing is. There have been a few definitions of what marketing is. We'll start first of all with the American Marketing Association, right? It is marketing is the activity, the set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. There are also a few other definitions of marketing, but I will take you to Philip Kotler. If you are new in marketing or you've been doing a lot of searching about what marketing really is, you would have come across this man called Philip Kotler. Philip Kotler is considered to be the father of marketing. The same way you have the father for economics, you have a father for marketing, right? Marketing is a social and managerial process by which individuals and organizations obtain what they need and want through creating and exchanging value with others. Now, these two definitions have something in common, right? The focus on the customer. Marketing is about, honing in on who your customer is. You're very, very concerned about the customer. A brand that's a very good example of this is Amazon. Amazon is bullish on the customer, and to be a good marketer, that's one thing that you always have to. Who are our customers, and what can we do? Where they live, what are their pain points, right? The second thing is value creation. um, you have to have something that the customers want. What is that thing that you're going to give to them in exchange for what they can give back to you, which brings us to value exchange. Think of this: if you were to ask Meta AI or any AI platform, describe marketing to a 10-year-old, it will tell you something similar to this. It would say something like, marketing is like telling your friends about a cool game, right, that you really like, or a new t-shirt brand, or a new pair of Nike sneakers. You want to convince them to try out those sneakers, right? When you think about this, the sneakers in this case is the value that you have. The customers are your friends who you're trying to convince, and the entire process, the communication, what you're saying to them, how you say what you say is right. The exchange, you want them to try on those sneakers. You want them to go to maybe the Nike store in Lekki to buy those sneakers. The entire process of doing that, the process of planning, oh, I'm going to tell my friends about the sneakers, or the execution of that, how you tell them or when you tell them, all of that is involved in the marketing process. So every single definition you see of marketing, these four things will always come true, right? Next is, let's move forward. Now you have a sense of what marketing is. I hope that the definition of maybe how you would talk to somebody about a pair of sneakers that you like or a t-shirt you like would help you understand the entire process. But let's forge ahead. Say you understand what marketing is and you're looking for a career. You're still in school trying to figure yourself out, or you're trying to say, um, what do I do? Why is marketing even right for me in the first place? Or is marketing a career I should even be considering, right? One thing you should note is, I personally would say that a career in marketing offers, dynamic and rewarding experiences. You have the opportunity to apply your very creative self to marketing. And even if you might not consider yourself to be very creative, you can build on that. Away from creativity, there's also, are you a very good project manager? It's an opportunity for you to apply yourself. Are you an amazing designer? Are you great at creating content? These are the things that working in marketing will allow you to do. It will give you a chance to explore that part of yourself. Now, other reasons to try the industry, right? That, like I mentioned before, it gives you a chance to express yourself, your very creative self. It's a job that is in very high demand. Now, think about this. There are marketing agencies in Lagos, right? If you go to Ikeja, there are tons and tons of marketing agencies. We used to joke then when I was in the agency world that if you throw a stone in Ikeja GRA, you would hit the window of a marketing agency. That's how large the agency world is. Away from marketing agencies, and you go to company like Cowrywise probably definitely has a very strong marketing team. Cowrywise could have, even the traditional banks like your GTB, they all need marketers to help them share the message about the product or the value that they're willing to exchange with the customer. Away from that and down to music, what I currently do, I work in Spotify, and we need to market to consumers like yourself, people in school, people out of school. We're trying to get you to stream music, right? So marketers are in high demand. You always need people to help you sell your product, and that's what marketers will help you do. there are a lot of career growth opportunities. You might say that, oh, the Nigerian economy is tough, there are no jobs out there. But I feel like if you are well positioned and if you prepare yourself, one day, being prepared, you will meet the opportunity, right? That you will then be able to work in the organization of your dreams, or you go from role to role to role, right? Prepare yourself for a career in marketing, or prepare yourself for that big break. And when it does come to you, you'll be able to step in very beautifully into it. Now, as a marketer, tomorrow I might decide to say, okay, I don't want to work on marketing campaigns anymore. I want to be a COO. I want to be a chief operations officer somewhere else. Okay, I'm no longer interested. I want to become, I want to work as a CEO, or maybe I don't want to do marketing at all. I want to go into project management. The skills that you build during your marketing career can always be used in a different industry. You can always take yourself from marketing and you move. Now, fun fact, there is a part of me that wants to go into commercials in a few years, right? I have my marketing experience. Right now, I'm very close to the numbers. I'm looking at numbers like, oh, how many users do we have? Or in my previous role, how many people have deposited money into the fintech that I'm working on? And it's giving me a sense of how numbers work. What are the sales numbers like? How many customers do we need, right? That is preparing me for another role if I decide to change. And I think that it will be the same thing for you. If 10 years down the line, I'm done with marketing, I want to move into sales, I want to move into accounts management. So we'll go to the next one. If you hopefully by now um, have a sense of what marketing is, and then why marketing in the first place, and maybe any other opportunities. The next thing you're probably thinking now, and what I think I did see a comment about somebody having a digital certificate. The next thing you'll be thinking about right now is, what in marketing can I do? It's a very, very broad industry. These fields that you see here are not they don't even cut it, right? Marketing is very large, and with the with the introduction of the internet, a few more branches were introduced. With the introduction of AI, a few more other branches are introduced. Maybe before the internet became a very big thing, or digital marketing became a thing, you had experiential marketing, you had somebody working on brand marketing, but the internet came on, and then we have digital marketing. All of a sudden, we have email marketing, then we have growth marketing. So there are different fields in marketing that you could decide to pitch your tent, or you could treat any of these fields that you see here, or are in maybe when you do another search for other areas of marketing, you could treat them as points of entry. Right now, I'm in brand marketing, and my brand marketing work overlaps with advertising, it overlaps with overseeing the experiential work for the Spotify brand within the West African region and in South Africa. So think of it as SSA in general, that's Sub-Saharan Africa. My work is also, very big on research. I don't do anything without doing some research. So best believe that before we go out in 2025, I have worked on trying to understand who the customers are, or who we're trying to reach this year. But with all of that I've done, digital marketing was my way in. To me, it was the lowest hanging fruit, right? It was the branch that I could, hold on to and then jump up the tree in, say, about 7 years, right? And I'm at this point with the kind of organization that I work with. So you take some time after this to say, which of these fields can I pick up on, and which of these fields can I play in, right? If you know how to create content, you're very good at writing, you might say to yourself, okay, I could, get into content marketing, or I could start to do email marketing or product marketing, because to me, a product marketer has to be somebody who can create content to put themselves in the minds of the consumer. What messages or what things do they need to see to check out a product or to read a new article? So finding the right food in marketing takes time, right? I might not be at my final stop in marketing. Maybe I'm going to end up in another area of marketing, but I have done a number of things, right? I have done growth marketing, I've done performance marketing in an agency. A lot of this adds to what I do now, and is definitely benefiting the products that I'm working on. So, but you have to cultivate a mindset of curiosity. Don't just sit back and say, oh, I'm in content marketing, and then you're not trying to figure out what's happening in content marketing. How can it be better? How can I do more? And then embrace lifelong learning. I've been in marketing for about 7 years. But before I got into marketing, I'd spent at least 2 or 3 years trying to figure it out. So where you are right now, some of you who have gotten some certifications, I'm not sure what to move forward. It took me 3 years from when I decided to work in the marketing field after I discovered experiential marketing to when I actually started working. And then since then, I have dedicated my life to learning constantly. AI is here now. How can I use AI, generative AI, to improve the work that I do? Or I'm working on a brief. Can I get a sense of what to do by looking at, what will ChatGPT say, right? How can I improve my writing? You have to be committed to constantly learning, and then practice patience. It can get very frustrating, right? You might be on a 200 from 50,000 naira salary for a very long time. And you're like, oh, what am I going to do? How am I going to get to the point that I need to get to where I start to pull in the big bucks? You'll get there. And or you're in the stage where I have this certificates. There are so many certificates, but I don't know what to do. You just have to stay on the course. I discovered yesterday that this is the longest relationship that I have had in my life. From the point that I decided to work in marketing till yesterday is the longest, aside from my family or being born to my mother or being born as a member of my family at all. Is the one thing that I've been so dedicated to. I've invested my resources into. So it doesn't end at getting your first marketing job. You have to keep at it. You have to keep learning about the industry. Now, you have seen a few fields that you can work in. What skills do you need? A few of these skills overlap, right? For example, you're interested in content marketing. One of the top skills that you would want to possess is content creation and management, right? These skills on the left are the technical skills. On the right, you have the soft skills. So data analysis and interpretation, 100% for people who are interested in growth marketing, in fact, all forms of marketing, because when you create content as a content marketing person, email get you to try product and buy. That's what experiential is. So even as an experiential marketer, even as a content person, even as a product marketer, data is important to a marketing professional. Not being able to and using that to apply to your next campaign it's not a great place to be. So content creation and management is probably less important to a growth marketer than it is to a content marketing person, or to an SEO, a search engine optimization person. Now, next is platform usage, your marketing technology platform usage. So Google Ads, being able to get on the a Google ad or Google Analytics to understand where's the traffic on my website coming from. How can I improve whatever it is I'm seeing, or being able to go on to Data Studio, for example, to see what's happening on there. And then you have marketing automation. Things have become so easy. You don't have to do things manually. What marketing automation tools do you even know how to use, right? How are you able to work through? This might be more important to a content person, to a growth marketer, to a product marketer than it is to somebody who is in brand marketing, right? So you need to find the skills that are important to you, build on them, but at the same time, don't close your eyes to or your mind to learning about other skills that you could possibly build. Because the more you build on those muscles, the better it is for you when you're trying to get your next role. Then the soft skills go without saying. Communication. How are you able to? So the thing is, you might be the smartest person as an intern in the agency or the company that you just joined. You might have the best ideas, but not being able to articulate your vision or your idea doesn't do a lot of good for you. You might miss out on a chance to um, connect your organization or brand to some really cool stuff that could get them their customers, the next batch of customers they need. So how can you improve your writing, your emailing? I remember that the first time that I really got into knowing how to communicate very well via email was when I was way out of school after NYC. My emailing skills weren't the best. I came in contact with a manager that tried to correct me. This is how you arrange the things that you want to say. Even when you're speaking, do you want to collect your thoughts before you speak so that people can get you? Um, there are people that their mind work faster than faster than what their mouth can say. Do you want to take a breath, calm down, write your thoughts down, and then read from your notes? Because over time you're going to get better at it. But you need to find ways to manage these weaknesses that you have if you're not very great at communicating. Next, time management. Honestly, you're working on a campaign that is launching in 1 month, knowing when to start your planning, knowing when to talk to the partners, so for example, as a marketing person, maybe I have a campaign that I want a music artist to collaborate with me on. The campaign is launching at the end of April, and I decide to wait till first week in April to speak to an artist. Imagine if it was Wizkid or David, I'm in trouble because how am I going to get through all of these people? How am I going to get through all of these people to respond for me to sign them up to started first week in March? For sure, I would have gotten feedback before the end of March, and then I would be able to work them into my campaign. I did see a question for marketing analysis. For marketing analysis, it's definitely data analysis and interpretation, and also being able to work using a marketing technology platform, understanding how to work with Google Analysis and the other tools that are important to understanding how traffic moves on your website or how sales has come through. You can do a search and you should be able to find a few resources. Next, creativity and innovation, your critical thinking skills. I think there are a few courses that you can find on how to think critically so that you don't maybe always say the first thing that's in your mind. You sit with your thoughts and try to improve on your thinking, right? Because if you work on a brief and maybe unfortunately a person is not a critical thinker, people might not be able to understand, or your campaign might bomb because, oh, did you really think about this strategy or this idea that you're putting out there for people to get? And organizational skills, they go hand in hand with time management. How are you able to set your table up to win, to set your team up to win? What should you do? When should you do it? How you need suppliers to work with? Do you have an idea of who the suppliers are? These are very important things. These are not all the skills that you need. I think that if generally you are a smart person, you're ready to work really hard, a lot of these things will come very quickly to you. Then the technical skills are things that you definitely will want to work on to make sure that you're ready for the job or whenever the opportunity presents itself. Okay. Next is you figured out what area you want to work in.
I'm guessing that is a challenge with 10 years. Okay, she's back. So yeah, um, we couldn't. Uh,
Okay. I'm back now. Can you hear
yeah,
me?
we can.
Okay. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Okay, so I was talking about the marketing career path. You have decided on a field that you want to work in. You're building the skills that you need to move forward. Now it's what kind of, what should I do next? This is where I am. Where can I get to? So this path is the pretty straightforward path that you'd see anywhere. You could first of all start off as an intern or entry level. They assign you some simple content jobs, or they start to train you on how to be a media, like a buyer or planner, or somebody who works in strategy, or you're say like an accounts management person, means that the client can come to you if they have any issues, or they could just send you an email and then you try to take care of it for them. But of course, all the stuff that you're doing is guided. So your manager will always be CC'd, always be copied in your emails, right? When you go past that intern or entry level stage, you're now a junior content or a junior marketing person. They've increased your responsibility and you have some ownership of of projects. They could say, oh, we have, for example, you work with on the Coca-Cola brand, for example, and Coca-Cola as a company, they say, okay, you can do Five Alive. Five Alive has maybe lower visibility than Coke, or the Coca-Cola, right? You could take care of Five Alive. So everything that pertains to Five Alive is what you do, but somebody still has to sign off on your work. And then you're doing really well after 1, 2 years, and they make you a mid-level marketer. Then you can manage your own accounts. You can make some strategic direct decisions or create some direction. Right? You can say that this is the data that I've seen, and I think this is how we should go forward. But of course, there's always somebody that has to sign off, not hand holding you because you are senior enough to take some decisions, but the client or your manager or the owner of the product, if you work in an agency, will have to sign off, right? Then you become a senior marketing person. You can make high level strategy decisions. You can make decisions about implementing. You can say that this is the strategic plan that we have for the entire organization, or the product that we're working on, and nobody really has a say. They can give you advice, they can say, oh, this is what I think we should do instead, but essentially you are the boss on the project. And then you could then get promoted to C-suite. So this time, maybe you're like a chief marketing officer or chief marketing officer, for example, for a money points for the entire Nigeria or for West Africa, right? At this point, you set the direction and the budget. You say that we are going to be spending a 500 million naira budget. We're going to be spending a 500 million naira budget for the entire year, or a 1 billion naira budget for marketing. And then you can allocate it. You can say, oh, we're going to be focusing on this product and that product. Please split the resources accordingly. Now, as somebody who's probably still in school, you're trying to figure out, where should I get in? I go in as an intern. One thing that I would always be grateful for is, oh dear, can anyone hear me? Hi, Timmy, can you hear me? Going on. Oh, okay. All right. So, oh, okay, great. Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So, how I got in, let me just tell you a little story about how I got in. For career switchers, I'm your girl. I'm the ultimate career switcher. I moved from here to there and there, right? I was initially in e-commerce. I was working with Jumia in the acquisitions, or speaking to customers about the products in their store. And I always had my marketing goal in mind, but I needed to make money. Oh, okay. I always had like, I want to work in marketing, but I needed to earn a salary to feed myself, which is what maybe some people might find out is going to happen to them. you want to work in marketing, but you need to pay the bills. So while you're working towards your dream, you're taking on whatever job you can take on, um, just to fund your next certification or to fund a school, the school that you need to go to become the ultimate marketing professional. So what I did was I got tired. I felt I needed to grab the bull by the horns. And the one thing I did was to step away from a full-time job that I had that was paying me money. This is very hard to do in Nigeria, right? Walk away from a job that you have and say, oh, I'm going to chase a dream. I did exactly that. I decided to chase a dream. And one thing I then did was to become an intern in a digital marketing agency. So I went from I went from earning six figures to collecting a stipend of 20,000 naira monthly for data or for whatever else they wanted to give to me. Now, my data subscription in a month was probably 8,000 naira from where I was coming from, right? So it took a lot of it took a lot of balls to even try to do that in the first place. But I did it. I decided to start from the bottom of the rung, go all the way from intern, and right now I'm here a couple of years later. For some other people, they might already be 4 years into their career. They might be in sales, they might be everywhere. And then the opportunity comes and they say, okay, I'm going to start off, apply to some organization and become a junior marketing person. What really matters, what really matters is what are your goals? For me, I wanted to start from the beginning. I was taking the marketing course with CIM, but I felt like it's not doing a lot for me. I would like to do much more. I decided to start from the very bottom. The experiences that I had were not enough for me to say, oh, I can apply to a marketing role. I was not senior enough to apply to a marketing role, so I couldn't do that. I couldn't say, oh, I have some marketing experience. Please hire me as a junior marketing person. And again, the work environment also matters. What kind of organization are you working in? If you're already in the agency world and you want to switch to marketing, it's a lot easier for you. But if you're coming from somewhere else, it's slightly harder, right? If you're on agency side, you would need to be working on different portfolios, different industries. You might be able to move along a lot faster. On client side, you'll be focused on like one specific industry, brand, or a product. So it really depends on where you are now and where you want to get to. What part of this ladder can I jump on and continue through? So if you're a career switcher, maybe you don't have to start from the bottom like I did. Maybe you just need to package yourself really well, create some kind of portfolio to show the things that you've done, and somebody could decide to hire you for a junior marketing role, right? And then in a year, you could be mid-level marketing. So this is how it goes, but it differs from organization to organization. So if you're in a startup, a small 20-person organization, you could go faster through this. I've seen some startups that somebody will be the head of marketing, and the person probably has like 3 years of experience. I don't know if that's the best way to go, but it matters. If you're in a 20,000 person organization like Microsoft, it might be very different. It might take you much longer to get through to that point. If you're in an agency, you could go pretty smooth and get out of the way. If you decide to be a freelancer, you're your own boss. You can decide to say, oh, I'm a senior marketing talent. Whatever it is, this is the path that I think you can work with. And then based on the organization that you're trying to join, you can say, this is where I fit. I'm either an intern or I think that I've done enough stuff. I have a portfolio that I can work as a junior marketing person. And that's the way you can go through. Uh, Now try to figure out, okay, this is where I am, this is where I fit. I'm an intern level person, or I'm still in school, but I want to prepare myself for the job. Or from my NYC, I want to say, oh, I need to be able to uh, get a few certifications and all of that so that I can be ready for the job. Maybe your NYC is when you decide to work in marketing for an agency or for an organization. These are some qualifications and certifications that I think you should be looking at. There are a lot of them, but you don't have to do everything, right? You have the digital marketing certifications if you want to work in digital. But I think that in this day and age, in big 2025, I feel like a lot more people should be interested in digital marketing. You don't have to be a core talent. You don't have to be a performance marketer that is, constantly trying to optimize. So people have come to this website. I want them to come back to get a product. You don't have to be that person, but just get a sense of what it is to market to customers digitally. Google is one place you can get certification from. So they have some Google Analytics courses that you can get a certification for. You have some Google Ads certifications that you can also certification exams that you can take to prove that you understand Google Ads or how to work through ads. There's also Facebook blueprints. You can get media buying certifications. You can do something for Facebook and Instagram, and then something in analytics. If you're very big on analytics, you want to be able to learn how to you want to be able to show that, oh, I'm very good with Facebook, getting data and insights from Facebook. Or you could just be a developer. Maybe you are somebody who wants to work on a client's Shopify store, right? And you want to show that you can build certain plugins and stuff that they need whenever they do some integrations with Facebook. Those are things that you could get. There's HubSpot inbound marketing certification. One of the courses that I took was HubSpot inbound marketing. It was very popular, and anybody who wanted to get into digital marketing at the time was always taking HubSpot inbound every single time. Or Hootsuite, social media marketing. I started, but I didn't quite finish. I'm not saying you should do the same, but of course, I got my social media marketing knowledge from somewhere else. And then there could be specializations. If you are a product marketer or you're looking at being a product marketer for a Cowrywise, for example, you might decide to say, I want to get some product marketing certifications. You look for the organizations that manage these kinds of trainings. You go through it, you do your capstone projects, like you will do your project at the end of your 4 year stay in school, to show that you are a certified product marketer. What that will do for you is make you focus primarily on what you want to do. So you understand how digital marketing works, right? But you want to be able to do product marketing. Another one could be the search engine marketer certifications. You are a person who wants to work on search ads on Google. So Google search, you want to be like an SEO expert, a search engine optimization expert. You want for when people search for finance, you want your brand to show up. Or let's say put it with what I do with music. I want that when people check for streaming platform, I want Spotify to be the first thing they see in search. There are some certifications or courses that you can take to improve your knowledge. Also, the same thing for content marketing. If you go to the Content Marketing Institute website, you can register for courses to help you. You can register for courses to help you with that. Then we have our local certifications. There's the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria. If you probably are somebody who's probably been done NYC, they usually go to camps to get people to take some kind of courses and to get some certification. Usually, if you're going to work in a marketing agency, like I did at the time, you would need to get these certifications to show that you are a Nigeria certified marketer. Not everybody has it, but if you're working in a regular traditional agency or you're working in any agency, even digital, they might make you get the certification, because if you don't, you will not know how to approach the Nigerian marketing industry. So, for example, we have AppCon. AppCon is the one that we, as a brand or anybody doing some marketing work, you have to send your marketing material to AppCon to approve. That's the kind of body they are. If they do not approve of the message that you have in your marketing material, they won't approve it. You can't run your ads. They also have their own certification courses that you need to take to say that you're an AppCon certified marketer. So look out for those local certifications, and you could possibly take them. Then there are global marketing certifications. That's the Chartered Institute of Marketing. if you're doing a lot of search, you find that a lot of people in the Nigerian LinkedIn scene have CIM this, CIM that. It is not cheap. It is not cheap at all to to get those courses. When I started my level 7, which is the highest level for CIM, when I started my level 7, the pound to the naira to pound, it was about 800 naira to a pound. Right now, you know what a pound is. So you need to be able to mix and match the courses that you're taking. You can decide to say, you know what, I don't have the money. I'm going to focus on doing primarily free courses, which you can find Google Ads. You can decide to depend on edtech platforms like Coursera. Oh, thank you. You can decide to rely on edtech platforms like Coursera and take some Google Career certificates. Apply for financial aid if you don't have money. You're still in school. You're probably using your pocket money to do all of this, or you're probably working on a project and you're getting paid. You can do the free ones, mix them up with the paid ones, and just continue like that and keep going. But one thing you should know, it's not really about the certifications. Um, it's not, you don't have to spend all your money to do all of that, right? It's not always about certifications. Nobody is really going to give you a job off the back of, oh, I have Google Ads certification. It will get them to look at you, at your certificates. It will get them to look at your CV, but it is how you describe what you've done, or it is your portfolio that will get your feet in the door. So everything adds up to what you're going to be, what you're going to show to your prospective employer or a brand that you're looking to consult for. I have then decided to do one thing. I've mentioned the certifications, but I think that as a marketing professional, the screen is lagging. Okay, so as a marketing professional, it is very easy to fall into the trap of I need formal training all the time. I need to be doing one certificate course or the other all the time to be recognized. You don't probably have to. There is a learning model that I think you can apply even if you decide to not do marketing or change your focus in a couple years or in a few months. There is a learning and development model that will help you, right? 70% of the learnings should come from development in real time, on the job assignments and cross-functional projects. You've probably gotten into marketing, you're probably an intern, junior marketing person, or you are freelancing for somebody, you're just being a consultant, or the person is just saying, you know what, you're a volunteer. Maybe there's a project that's come on. The learnings that you gather from that kind of a project is 70% of your learning should come from that kind of a project, right? The job experience, what did you learn while on the job? The Google Ads certification exam that I took, the Google Ads certifications that I took, the Facebook blueprints, a lot of that, I fully understood it when I started to work on projects. Now we have, you're able to, reach out to somebody who's starting a small business and you say, can I help you do this? Can I help you build a strategy for this? When you take those kinds of certification courses and then you apply it to a project that you're working on, it's just always easier. You learn a lot better and you learn faster. Now, 20% of your learning should come from social. This, for example, the Cowrywise career series is one way to learn. Being in the ambassador community also helps. Looking for professional organizations to join in, networks to join. When I started out, one community that was very popular for people who, of course, have been in marketing. They used to have a digital marketing community at the time. I joined it, and I started to meet other marketers, started to understand, what they were about, what they were talking about, and started getting stories or building relationships with people on there. So your performance, your career discussions, looking for a mentor, somebody to speak with. That should contribute about 20% of your learning. 10% formal training, so paying for the courses themselves, the e-learning certification, the conferences that you go to, the classes or courses, free courses, sessions like this. These ones are should contribute 10%, like the formal training that you're going to be taking because, oh, I want to start a marketing career. Now, if you're new and you probably you've not gotten into marketing at all, which I guess a lot of people are, this might vary. It might be a 10% job experience because you're working hard at building your portfolio. And then it's more social learning, being active in communities like this, or looking for communities to learn from, or looking for a mentor to help you could be 50%. And the rest of it could come from formal training. You're going on Coursera to take the Google career courses like the one for digital marketing or project management because maybe you want to work as a project manager in marketing. A lot of this shifts up and down, but please know that there are three ways to learn. Only certifications will not help you. Looking for other places to discuss the problems that you're facing, or looking for places to, oh, how did you approach this, or how did you I left. Yes, perfect. Sorry, I'm reading the comments at the same time to keep it as engaging as possible. Aleph has some amazing courses that you can take on as well. So mixing all these things together makes you the ultimate professional. And for a mentor, see, looking for a mentor is not easy. You also have to have this hunger to learn. When I said curiosity and patience, when I started out 1 year into marketing, I had a manager called Kelechi. I would sit at my desk, I could see the staircase. Immediately Kelechi was coming up the stairs. Hi Kelechi, good morning. What's up? Do you have anything for me to do today? I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be cliche or trying to say those things that people say when they're trying to give inspirational speeches. This was something that I actually did. Because if I didn't talk to him like that or ask him for work, he probably wouldn't have given me anything to do, right? And Kelechi would look for something. Okay, cool. Work on this project. What had happened within 7 months was I started to be, I then became the social media person and definitely the main account person on the media brand within a short period of months because I was asking for work. It's very easy to sit back and receive a salary, but I was asking for the work. But I was looking for another mentor, somebody who was very good with media buying, right? They could create big Excel sheets that showed how many impressions, if impressions, how many times the person will see the ad if they spend this. Like I wanted to be a media buyer and planner. I messaged somebody and said, "Hi, I know that you're really good at this. Can you teach me?" It's been 7 years. That person has not responded. I would not even know if they responded because I left the agency. So you need to try and look for the people. Don't, because somebody does not respond to you, that person that are looking to be a mentor does not respond to you, does not mean other people won't respond. So look for the people. Try and figure out if this person will respond. Try and figure out if this person will respond. Send a message, a very neat message on LinkedIn. Hi, I have a question to ask you about this. Hi, do you have 5 minutes to talk to me about this? It's not easy, but keep at it. That is how you learn, right? There's no shame, honestly, because whatever you learn is what you need to grow. So I spent quite a bit of time. Just going to move very quickly into creating a personal brand. Honestly, I'm one to talk. I'm honestly somebody who works on I do my work. I have a profile on LinkedIn, but I'm not as active as I need to be. But it's important for you to start off now, for people to share your story with people. There's somebody that I hired as an intern when my last job, and she used to share like really small stories about the stuff that she's been doing, what she's been. A lot of engagement. You could search her up now and you see that she's probably working somewhere else, right? It's very important for you at this stage, even if you don't know everything in the world, you can share stuff about yourself, right? So if you build a strong personal brand, helps you showcase your skills, the interests that you have, your experiences, and your journey. How did you go from being a final year student to becoming a junior marketing person in some top company? These two ladies, the profiles that I have on here are people that I look up to when you want to when you want to talk about people who are creating their brand. You might want to go look them up. One is Dara, and she's in the US. The other is Destiny Govender. She is in South Africa. She's also like she's in TikTok global marketing, right? She was the head of marketing for TikTok. She has a website. She has all this other stuff. Of course, she didn't start out boom like that, right? She started to build herself over and over again. He gets her notice. If tomorrow, say a major company or even TikTok itself wants to say, want to make you like the global head of marketing. They see that she has created something of herself. She stands out because she's not always quiet, right? She's putting herself out there. So they help you stand out in a competitive job market. You can establish yourself as a thought leader in the industry. It helps you build a professional network and you make connections. I created my first LinkedIn when I was 2 years, 1 to 2 years into like my entire my entire career. That's not including marketing. I didn't even know what LinkedIn was, to be honest. But now everybody knows. I know people who are, I've seen people who are still in secondary school about to get into the university and they created LinkedIn profiles. You can do the exact same thing. Start to sell yourself, start to create your own brand, and then try to develop it helps you showcase your portfolio. So if you're already somebody who creates content for small brands, or you're somebody who already maybe you do some design work for people, you create a portfolio, you share it on your profile, and people can see you. Now, one advice that I would always have for people, I've seen people who create a personal brand, right? It is all bark, but where is the bite? They might not have a strong enough bite. You sell yourself, do not oversell. It's good to sell yourself really well, but you should be able to back that selling yourself with enough with action. You should be able to back it up, right? With action. Don't be the person that, oh, you know so much, you've read all the articles, you've done this and that about marketing, you can talk about marketing from morning till night, but you're not able to back it up with technical. You're not able to say, oh yes, I can work on this project or the other. Now, a very interesting story. After I started my marketing career, I was working in an organization where I wasn't using all the muscles. I was just using some of the muscles. Where I was having a simple chat with my boss, which led to my resignation a few months later. What he said to me was, "You know a lot about everything. Bring a topic. I will talk about it. I will speak on it." But it was at surface level. He said, "When you try to go deeper, I didn't know enough." Which is exactly what it is. I could talk a good game. I could say marketing, oh this, oh that, we'll do this, we'll do that. But when you got to the technicals, when you started to dig deeper, you would find flaw. I thought about that for a bit. I did feel a little insulted, but in retrospect, it was the best thing that could have happened to me because after that conversation, I decided to take better control of my career. I could take better control of my career. I decided to say, oh, I want to be able to do technical work. I want to be able to do actual work on a brand. I resigned from that job. I resigned from that job really within a few months. And when I was asked, oh, why are you resigning? I think my path here has ended. I should have said something better because what he did for me that day was set me on the right course. And within 3 months, I was in an agency as an account manager. I didn't have the technical skills to work on actual campaigns. But in that account manager position, it didn't take long for me to take over the work on campaigns. So in a few short months, I was working on the Diageo brand, digital campaign, doing the media buying and planning, executing the campaign, setting up the ads on the dashboard. Before I left the agency, I was working on Coca-Cola, I was working on Nivea. If he didn't have that conversation, if he hadn't said that thing to me that hurt my feelings, that then led me to think about it, I probably would have continued, thinking that I'm that shit, I'm good with marketing when I couldn't really back it up. So as much as you're trying to sell yourself from now, please try to improve your technical skills, the skills that you need to work as a marketer. That is my very honest advice to you. So cool. Working in marketing is very data intensive. If you leave here today, one thing I would like for you to take away is always trying to find out what's the new thing in marketing now, what's happening now. Several years ago, everybody was doing their ads on TV. It was either if you were not advertising on NTA, or if you're not advertising on some other TV channel, African Magic, then you're not there. But now people have shifted their sites to social. So you see that TV budget, out of home budget, all the billboards that you see, the budgets are reducing. Why? Because they're not giving people as much value, or people don't care about them as much. What they care about now is social media. You're tapping, or you're seeing the next person that's trending on X, and bam, you see an ad by a fintech platform telling you to create an account, and then you get free transfers. You're like, free transfer? Or Bank of the Free, like Kuda, or the savings platform like Cowrywise, they show you an ad. Where did you find it? Social. It was on your device and you could quickly download. So as a marketer, understanding the trends, how are consumers, what are their behaviors? What are they doing? What platforms are they on? This is how you should be thinking as a marketing person. So staying ahead of the curve is crucial. Maintain a pulse on the latest trends, the innovation. A couple years ago, AI wasn't a thing, but now it is that thing. Everybody's trying to build one AI skill or the other. Everybody's trying to include AI in their marketing. So a brand who hasn't yet executed with AI, or hasn't included AI in their planning or some other things, might be behind and might be missing out on a lot of opportunities. So as you go along, be looking for 2025 trends in marketing, so you understand. A few things that I pulled up: for one, social media platforms will need to adapt to changing consumer behaviors. 31% of people globally say that ads capture their attention. Fun fact, in 2023, it was 43%. That tells you that, where are people going to, if ads are not catching their attention, where are they shifting their attention to, right? Where are they shifting their attention to? You need to figure that out. So if your entire budget is on social media, you're probably missing out on people who are not really interested in ads on social media. Now, the next one, which is very interesting: brands will partner with creator community to reach new audiences. See, brands right now are trying to look for creator communities to tap into. So the Alter community, for example, if I'm new in music, you guys are an amazing community for me. Right now, the Cowrywise Ambassador Program is an amazing community for me because you listen to music. Some of you are probably listening, double screening right now, listening to something else. If you're a gamer here, if you're a sports fan, there are different brands that want to speak to you through communities. So if you have people in social, people who, and you're not capturing their attention through social media, you might be able to find them through the communities that they frequent. So these are the ways that you have to think, right? And there are a couple other things. AI is there, right? Include AI. Whenever, if you're creating a small plan, or I'll tell you one very funny thing I did with Paga one time. You have to include the things that people care about, or include the platforms they care about. Podcast marketing will continue to grow. We've seen podcasts, everybody and their third sister is a podcast marketer or a podcast host. It's becoming very big. So if one day, maybe in the next 1 year, podcast continues to grow and you have a chance to sell, you're trying to promote a product, you might want to think about that. Now, one thing that I think that, and I think I've said it before a couple times. I said it before. Always keep your pulse on it as you're searching for that gist, on X, or you're looking at Instagram, or you're watching that TikTok. What things are happening in marketing right now that I can apply to this thing? So you're pitching to a customer, and then one thing, please be very bold. I was fresh out of my internship program. I didn't have a job. And I said, what must I do now? I saw Paga. I was seeing Tayo Obiosu a lot on Twitter. And I said, Paga looks interesting. What did I do? I created a brief, I created a pitch trying to tie Paga's products to um, football, the footballing season, working a partnership with the best organization. It was a really neat deck. This was somebody with just 3 months of internship experience, and I was ready to go. I had the big idea, I had the this, I had the technicalities, and I sent him. I'm not saying you should go and hammer people everywhere, but just do it and just be very respectful about how you reach out to these owners. I sent him a tweet. I said, hi, Atayo Obiosu. I have a brief, I have a pitch that I would like to send to you. he said send it to so and so person. I sent it to them. I got an interview, and I then got feedback to come and intern with them for 1 month. Guys, when they gave me the offer, I was like, this idea that I put together, can I execute it, Jehovah? I ran away. I have done really bold things in my career, right? I have gone, I have applied to places, I have reached out to people, and I think you should be the same. But don't try to replicate those things if it's just fluff. If you have nothing to offer these people and you just reach out to them, they're just gonna be like, why are you wasting my time? I reached out to them and they said, oh, come and intern with us. Who knows? Maybe if I had gone.
Okay, she's back.
How did you know it was MTN? So interesting. I mean, internet help, but but I'm back now. So just be bold, be audacious, look out for opportunities, take charge, but be able to back up whatever it is you are trying to sell, so that people will take you seriously. And that then brings me to my final slide. Thank you very much. Uh, okay.
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much for the last. I think we spent about 60 minutes having to do this, and
Oh my. Oh
yeah,
wow.
it felt like say 15, 20 minutes or something. I was just here sitting, paying rapt attention, like I mean, paying rapt attention, and it was so really really cool having to hear your story, right? I mean, before now, I didn't know you beyond having to work together at the time, and then just very
Yeah.
briefly, I'm not sure if it lasted for 3 months. I can't remember anymore. But
One
just
month.
oh my,
I,
oh my God. I honestly can't remember how long we had to work for, how long we worked together for. But it's really really interesting how to. I mean, having to learn a lot more about you, and also having to learn marketing from you, right? I mean, I don't have a decade of experience in marketing, but but yeah, thank you so much. I mean, I really did enjoy it, like I mentioned, and I also see that a couple of attendees and have been enjoying the session so far. I can see them participating, answering
yeah.
questions, engaging you on the excuse me on YouTube directly, right? So we'll just spend a couple
Okay.
of minutes taking questions and answers.
Okay.
So that's how we do it. We'll pick questions from YouTube, and then we will just let me just do that right away.
Okay.
Um, yep. Okay, so we'll just pick questions from here. Yeah. So let's. If you have questions, you can start dropping them now, so that we will both pick them one after the other. Okay. So somebody has one question now. Yeah. This.
Okay, what's the biggest? Okay. Mm, to me, I think very recently for this, I feel like the conversations happening on social media, for example, everyone is trying to call out Gen Z. Um, Everyone is trying to call out Gen Z. Oh, Gen Z are this, Gen Z are that. Gen Z, they don't care. Gen Z do this, Gen Z do that. It happens all the time. Every 2, 3 business days, one person is bemoaning what Gen Z has done and how they behave. I feel like it marketers very easily fall into that trap of when they are planning or building out their strategy and stuff, they start to say, oh, the Gen Z don't care, the Gen Z don't do this. So you have to create your plan in some sort of way. I feel like a lot of it goes beyond that because people are different. They have their media consumption habits. They have the fact that they do things a certain way, but always falling for that, always using that thought to say, a session that I was in not long ago, it's when you want to say build your plan around Gen Z, you immediately say they are different, they are this, they are all table. I'm like, in Nigeria alone, there are definitely a large percentage of the population. Not all of them belong to these communities. You will alienate the people who do not identify as that by speaking only to this community that you probably think is the loudest community. I think that's one thing that marketers often see or marketers one trap that marketers might fall into. There are several buckets of people. You need to treat each bucket of them, not just the Ortegas. You need to treat each bucket of them separately. One person's this bucket's behavior might be totally different from the other one. Then for Gen Alpha, they are still very young. And honestly, whatever marketing or whatever approach you take towards Gen Z might overlap with Gen Alpha. So I would say that they're still quite young, a little too young right now, especially to start to advertise them. I personally do not advertise the Alpha currently. So I can't say that, oh, this is exactly how they'll be. But it's very easy to say, oh, they're going to be like the Gen Z because the millennials were, it was a couple of years ago, it was always millennials, millennials, millennials. Millennials are this, that's the boomers are probably saying millennials are this way, they are that way. So I expect the same thing to happen to the Gen Z people. It's the same thing to happen to Gen Alpha. So don't always put them in, don't always look at the behaviors that you think that they portray. They are much deeper than that. And you should be able to tap into the different communities or to the different things that they care about or the things that they want to be able to create a plan or to create some kind of strategy that will appeal to them and get them on your side eventually.
Okay, thank you so much. We have a couple more questions. I would pick them in one after the other. Yeah, this is the next question from Oluwatobi Kayode.
Uh, okay, when I first started out in my career in marketing, what I started with honestly was taking courses because I wanted to understand what marketing was. I would put some money together to go for a certification course or the other, one certification course or the other. That was one thing that I started to do. But of course, it didn't get my foot in the door. I had to be very intentional about I had to be very intentional about what to do next. And for me, the next thing that I did was to look out for job opportunities. Now, if you're like me and you could not get into like the top organizations, maybe in consulting, like maybe like for marketing consulting, or you couldn't get a graduate trainee, or you're trying to apply for a graduate traineeship, or you're unable to get work as an intern in a marketing organization, um, I decided to apply to intern to an agency. I applied to intern, means I left my job. I'm not saying do that now, not in this economy. Please do not do that. In this economy, you will go broke. Except it's like in some organization that they pay their interns well enough. I did see one organization that pays their interns in 3 6 figures. That's amazing. I left my job and decided to intern, and I was taking 20,000 naira per month. It wasn't enough to pay my transport and anything, but I had some money saved, and I figured that if I could hit really well, if I could build myself up in about a few 6, 7, 8 months, I should have a job to start to pay my bills, which is what happened. That might not be everyone's story, right? Um, I still continue to learn. I didn't stop learning because I'm now in marketing. I There's no need to continue with the courses. I continue to learn. I first started off with the CIM level 4, took the courses, failed one, came back. Don't always keep pushing, don't stop, right? And then in my the last 2 years, I've cleared up level 7. So I didn't stop learning. People say, "Oh, you will learn on the job." I hear you, but there are some frameworks, some models, marketing models that are very important to a marketing professional that I learned during some of those searches that I did or some of those courses that I took. So never stop learning, keep going. That is how I think I got to this point. Because if you are applying to an organization, for example, they will say, work on this brief. If you don't know the things, how to start from, what is the goal, who are the audience, who is this, who is that, what's the strategy to use, you might not be able to create a brief that is good enough, and you might not be able to talk through it. Another thing I did was to think every few years or every 2 years, I'm always thinking about, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? There are 2 or 3 key points in my career. The first one was when I decided to intern as a digital marketing intern. The second time was when I was in a room with my boss and he said, "You know a lot of stuff, but you don't have depth." He actually said depth. I took that and I decided to say, you know what? I left my job again. Again, don't be like me. Sometimes I would not think as well as I'm supposed to, and I just act. Don't be like me. I left my job again. I said, oh, I wanted to be a data analyst, and I started taking data analysis. After a while, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going back to marketing, but I would apply my learnings from data analysis. I left the job in October. By January, I was in a marketing agency. That was another phase of my life that started. And then the third one was, you know what? I want to work client side. And I left again, this time to a fintech platform, AOO. And that is how I got to this point. So you need to think, don't just think about it deeply. What I started out to do, am I there now? And how can I get there if I'm not there? Would I need to take a new course? Will I need to look for a mentor? Will I need to join a program like this, to meet people? Just always think deeply. I think those are the things, that have gotten me to this point that I'm at. And also looking out for opportunities. Apply to jobs and interview well, right? You need to interview well. There's an art to interviewing. If you want to grow, right, you need to be able to know how to answer the questions and then back it up with things that you've done. I think that's how I got here to this point
Yeah,
that I'm in.
I just wanted to say a few things. When people say that what works for person A doesn't work for person B, so the fact that you have been
Yeah.
having to leave job one, quit job two, doesn't mean that Oluwatobi Kayode or every other person should. And I know, I
No.
think it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday or
Yeah.
2 days ago. I was just randomly scanning through your Twitter page, and I saw somebody asked a question using an anonymous link saying that um, it says what's it called? Use the exact words I used. Okay, yeah, I remember now. He
Mm.
said, "Are you a trust fund baby, but trying to cover up for us on Twitter?" And I'm like, okay. So, I mean, whether or not she's a trust fund person, if somebody can afford to leave job one, leave second job, and then do that on and on and on and on, that already, I mean, contextualize different things. So if you're not a trust fund person like her, so I don't think you want to leave one job.
I'm not a trust fund person. Fun fact, which isn't very fun. I'm not a trust fund person, right, at all. I but I take very maybe I don't think it through. Anytime I'm up in the middle of the night not sleeping, best believe that's going to be followed by one wild decision, including trying to get into an MSc program. That's how I think. I could be erratic at the same time. No trust fund. Funny thing was, I had recently lost my dad, and I was going to be funding a burial, but I still went ahead to do it. I didn't say, okay, no, right? So, not trust fund at all. I probably had just about 70,000 naira left in my account before 70K of back then, oh, guys. Wow. 70K of back then, no, not 70K now, guys. Please, I'm begging. Don't be me, because I might do it again. Who knows? Before I left my last company, I said to them that in 2 years I might be a software engineer. Deal with it, because I feel like you can reinvent yourself as many times as possible. And honestly, I spoke to somebody who works at Uber. I told her that this was the step that I took a few years ago, and she said you probably didn't need to take an internship position. You could have packaged your current experience and applied to an organization, and you wouldn't have been an intern. There are different ways to get into the industry. There are different ways to work it out. I usually just go straight for the juggler, just move. Not everybody has to
Juggler,
do that.
juggler. I mean, thank you so much. And yeah, I'm sorry about your dad, and I hope you're fair.
No, I think it's a long
Okay.
time ago. Yeah.
Okay, so let's take the next person. Akirele Sharon. I think we might want to say take them very quickly because looks like these people don't
Yeah, sure, sure,
at
sure.
all.
Uh, oh, as an intern, it's very easy for as an intern. One of the things that I faced as an intern, to be honest, was ve- you might be you people might treat you as the help. That happens. Go and buy me this or do that for me. It's one thing, and or bring it to the role or to the job. It might be that they're like you don't know anything and they don't want to give you a chance. They don't want to give you a chance at all. But you have to fight for that chance. You have to ask for work. See, be annoying but in a respectful way. Is there anything I can do for you now? Right? Do you need help with anything? Because you can get overlooked. They'll be like, I'll just quickly do this work. I don't want to delay. Right? But show them that you are ready to work. That's one thing that I did face as an intern. I was ready to do the work, but sometimes they would leave me out of it. But if you fight for it, they could give you a project to work on and then you learn. Because if you don't work, you don't learn. So just keep fighting for it and don't keep yourself as a help. You're there to learn. You're there to give value. Don't let people reduce you.
Okay, thank you so much. Um,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, another question.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Please volunteer. If you have a friend who has a small brand that they're building, maybe a candle brand, a fragrance brand, volunteer. If there are any projects, maybe a social impact project, maybe you get a chance to help the chest in slums, Tunde, 100% raise your hand up, volunteer. That is experience that you can use later on, and that could even lead you to more opportunities.
Awesome.
Hmm. Um, what can I put on my resume and portfolio as a beginner looking for internship opportunities? What I put on my resume, I was already an experienced hand, but I wasn't in marketing. You can talk about the things that you have done. So you can't just say, oh, I want to intern in marketing right now with how stiff the competition is. Have you volunteered previously? Can you put the volunteer work on there? Can you raise your hand? If it's a church project, even put something together. But your professional summary should indicate that you are willing to do this, this, this. This is what you can do, and that. And then your key skills, the skills that you have, should also indicate that these are the skills that I have that I'll be able to put towards this job that I'm about to do. But volunteer, look for a project to do, anything at all, even if it is a company that you have to create with your friend to give some value to people, build it up, and then work on the project. There's always something to do.
Absolutely. There's always something to do, really. I mean, you have for instance, you can see beautiful designs on the background. All of those designs that you see, the PDF for this career series, they were all designed by members of the design team in the ambassadors community, right? And these people have these people have to
Beautiful.
put these things on
Yeah.
their resume, on their CV. They've gotten internships at Cowrywise. And I mean, there's another surprising announcement that we are looking to make, say, sometime next week, right? So always do that. I mean, I've lost count of so many other people, whether as designers, whether as marketers, whether as data analysts, whether as software engineers. We currently have a front end engineering intern. Just last month, a finance intern left Cowrywise. So on and on and on. You will always get opportunities, but the first thing to do is to volunteer, right? And the careers ambassadors community is one place that you want to ensure that gives you that platform to make enough contribution, right? Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Okay. Ah, how you go? See, how do you go from boosting, boasting on social media to becoming when you're in a competitive environment? See, both, right? You shouldn't, honestly, I'm more of a doing the work than a boaster. If you go to my LinkedIn, you'll find that my last post was probably about a project that I did last year. So I think that there should be a healthy balance of both, right? You can, nobody says don't boast, right? You continue to, I don't know, is boasting a good word? I don't know. But sell yourself, right? And deliver at the same time. Because if you're all about selling yourself and talking marketing on the platform, the experienced people can easily see that, or you're all fluff, that you're all talk. There are people that I see on LinkedIn and I start to laugh because I promise you, you have not touched anything that you're talking about, right? So you don't go from boasting to doing. You have to do both at the same time. So as you're talking about your journey as a Cowrywise ambassador, and maybe what you did on the project, show working as I think it's Odumodi that said that. Sorry, I'm a millennial. Don't get it. But like you have, thank you, show working, do both at the same time. Talk about the project that you did end to end. That could be your boasting. It doesn't have to be like, oh, and this and that. That could be your boasting. This is what I did for the Carrywise career series. I helped do this. I contacted the people. I arranged the schedule. Those are the things that you can talk about. But do both, please. And don't mind anyone else. Do your own thing. Don't bother about anyone else creating it. It's none of your business. Focus on you.
Yeah, there's also one thing I like to say to campus ambassadors. Um, you can't hide good work. You cannot, like, once you are good, you are
Mm,
good. Your work would, I mean, of course, you also need to contribute to letting people know about the quality of your work. But once you are good, it will spread like wildfire. People would know that something is going on somewhere. Some people will know that something is going on with this person. This person
yeah.
is doing something, right? And then you find it very, very easy to actually share your work out there. So yeah, the first thing that you should prioritize knowledge above wanting to just talk about it on social media.
Talk
Maybe
all
just
the
like
time.
Enniye.
Yeah.
I'm not I probably wouldn't talk on LinkedIn up until God knows when, if not for career series that we're having currently. So yeah, quality experience, quality knowledge.
Oh, yes. Please, you are looking at the ultimate career switcher. You can do anything. If you want to prepare to be the president of Nigeria, go ahead. You can. I think that for example, let's say you work in you're a software developer, right? Means that I don't know what you do front end, back end. It means that you know how a product works, right? You understand what is causing that button to be green, to pop green, or what's causing that pop up to happen. I feel like you know the product within your organization. If you want to transition to marketing, it is very easy for you because you already know how things work and being able to sell it because you know how things work. And I think that's where like a product marketer sits. product marketers, in my opinion, should have an understanding of the platform that they're trying to sell. They should know how things work. With the knowledge that what they know, they take it and then they say, this is the message that we need to tell these people to understand how this thing works. So I feel like you can transition, you can choose to transition by, of course, building your marketing muscle, building your skills, maybe stay in tech so that you can build your muscle in an environment that you understand, and then decide to go out or do both. In the middle, product marketing is what I think is a good place to sit in the middle. Know the product, tell the client customers about it, take their feedback, give it to the people who are building the platform.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, in Cowrywise, there's something we call growth engineering, right? So it sits at the intersection of engineering and marketing, right? And that's one thing I particularly enjoy doing. For some other companies, they probably call it product marketing or whatnot. But I mean, that's something I particularly enjoy. In fact, beyond the
Mm,
ambassadors community, one thing I enjoy doing so much in Cowrywise is growth engineering. My colleagues know, they know that when it comes to any task, any project that sits at the intersection of engineering and marketing, Timmy is your go-to guy. So yeah, you can always transition from if you're a career as
you can, or
yeah, I
do
mean,
both,
right, exactly.
or do
If you're a
both.
career ambassador, you can just shoot me a
Yeah.
mail and we can have a conversation about this. Um,
Okay. Well, yes, you can. But please note that people are different. I have channels that I'm happy to chat with you on. I currently volunteer with, is it volunteering? With Temsi. It's for, they do like mainly female people who are interested in transitioning into marketing or being marketers. So it is a structured thing where, you know what, if I'm giving you 1 hour of my time or 2 hours of my time a week, you respect my time, I respect yours, we will be fine and dandy. That's how I'm able to work. So if you need a structured program, 100% yes. If you need a call, if you need us to get on a call, you come in, going to your mentor, you need to have very clear somebody you want to be your mentor. I don't think that you should chase people down to be, oh, you must be my mentor. Have the things that you want. Oh, I want to understand how to do this. How does that to do that? Can you give me 30 minutes of your time? Yes, if you are very clear from your first hello. So if you say hello and you're waiting for someone, your person that you is probably very busy or not on LinkedIn at all to say hello back before you say what you want to say, you might not get what you need out of it. So be very clear on your goals, right? And then reach out to the person that you want to reach out to. If you want me to chat to you, I can talk to you within, I say, okay, so we can have these for 2, 3 weekends. Happy to speak to you. But bring value as you're coming. That's it. That's what every mentor wants. It's value.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for offering to help. The name seems familiar. I guess that's the campus lead from one of our schools. I can't remember what. I'm not sure what school it is, but yeah. We have about
Okay.
8 more questions, and I want to be sure that I want to hear from you. How do you think we go ahead with having to do with the 8 questions, considering that we are
We are
far?
above time. Does
Yeah.
this end? Does this get cut off at any point in time? We can
No, no,
take the
it's
eight.
not until we
Um,
until we
okay,
hear it ourselves.
we can just take the eight. And
Okay.
any other question that comes in after, if you send me via email, I'm happy to
Okay.
reply. We can just take the eight while we're here.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. That's so kind of you.
You're welcome. Mm.
Yeah. A quick one, quick question.
Um, I think my biggest fear is being not growing,
Hmm.
but that can also be motivation to work to grow because there are people who have been in marketing for a long time. I found out about marketing through experiential, and I got in and I was like, I can't do experiential. Nobody will hire me as an experiential marketer. Let me go to digital. A couple years down the line, the person I saw experiential marketing through is still there trying to figure out what to do next. Right? He's a really good experiential marketer, but maybe decided to, I'm just gonna stay the way that I am. it's not always the best thing. It's not like I'm speaking or saying he didn't do well. Maybe that's where he wants to be, or probably saw that that's what it is. But I think that not growing should be your biggest fear in marketing management, because new things are coming out day to day. They keep saying AI will take your job, and I don't think that it will. But not being able to work with it is what will take your job. Because somebody who understands how to do things better, how to write better strategy, how to plan better, is probably right there waiting to take over. So not growing, but just motivating yourself to grow. I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. Next question says, yeah, next question from Emanuela.
Being technical is what I think should not be overlooked. It's very easy to just know, oh, what is marketing or what the general idea of marketing is. But if you are not, if you do not build your technical skills early on, you're stuck waiting, you're stuck in a stage where you have to learn before you grow. So if you, at the same time that you can, the word was both that was used, you're also building your skills, you will, I think you'll get to where you're going much faster than I did, where I didn't build a lot of technical skills in digital or even with data analysis and everything. And when I started to do it, I had to start again, to build that. So don't overlook building technical skills.
Hmm, awesome. A question from Eunice saying, what course would you recommend for someone who is a complete beginner?
I think that you should go to Coursera and get the digital marketing course by Google, one of their career courses. I think that's a good way to start. Um, it's a more structured. It takes you quite a bit of time, maybe 3 months, but it will give you, what you need. You'll be able to understand like what you need to do from here and then like what to do. If you're unable to afford it, Coursera also offers financial aid that you can apply for, indicating that, oh, I'm still a student, or I'm not able to pay for this. Can I take this course and just finish it? Get a sense of what it's about, and then you can decide to read up on what Google ads are about, or free courses. Like someone had mentioned Aleph on here before. That's also something else to take. But 100% go on Coursera, get the Google digital marketing course, and it's also an e-commerce course to get started on that.
Yeah, so the course and you is speaking to, you can just move directly to Google Digital Garage. That's what it's called. Just
Yes.
type it on your search engine, right? Google Digital Garage. Or I think there's one other one. Let me check that out. That's Google Skill Shop. Yeah. So the course you're
Oh
speaking to,
yes, yes, absolutely.
Google
Mhm.
Skill Shop or Google Digital Marketing Garage. So you find different courses. In fact, I think oftentimes when I meet marketers, they often say that was how they got started. They had to take that course, and then
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I think you should check that out.
Yes,
Um,
please.
okay, there's another question from Lade.
Mm.
I mean, I think you've answered this question, but you might want
I
to.
Yes. Yes, I would say if you get a chance to be a graduate trainee, please go ahead and take it, grab it with two hands. It's more or less like an intern position. I feel like it does the 70% part of learning and development for you, where you're on the job, they are assigning projects to you, or you are shadowing, going to meetings, trying to understand what's happening. If it's just like a general graduate training program, you need to understand if the organization rotates their graduate trainees. You need to find out, because you could get into a graduate training program and they probably don't have a marketing cycle. If you don't have a marketing cycle, then it means you can't do marketing there. But graduate traineeship is a good way to get in, but try and understand if they have a cycle. I know it's not easy, everybody's looking for a job, but if a good way to spot it is if they have a strong marketing program, if you're seeing that they're executing campaigns. they definitely will have somebody doing marketing for them. So you can 100%, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you. So the next question, I will just pull out the whole chat. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, because the person asked sent in the message twice. Yeah, I think that's the last question. Have you? Can you?
Okay. Um, okay, so I haven't had the privilege to work with a team. It's just myself and the SEO. Sometimes I feel the company is too slow. I just don't know how fast it should be. Uh, it depends on what are you doing or what kind of market.
I think again for the guy who said MTN, I think there's an MTN problem again or something.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay,
So
you're back.
sorry. So I was saying that the marketing that a 10-person company will do, the kind of team that they need to have, the resources they need to have, is different from the one that an 11,000 man company will do. If the company is small, just starting out, small shop, they don't need as many people, and their activities are probably going to be some type really, really little. They're not going to be doing a lot of things. Maybe they don't even have the budget, right? And they're just looking at SEO, search engine optimization, just want to do all of that. But if you're looking at a big company like, say, Amazon, for example, I love Amazon. But looking for a big company like Amazon, they need more people and it's probably faster paced. There's a lot of personalization going on in Amazon. Even look at booking.com. There's a lot of personalization going on there. You're going to move it a lot faster than if you're in an organization that probably is happy to receive maybe 1,000 or 500 requests per month for a particular product or service that they sell. So if you think that it is not fast enough for you, you can always move with a plan. Okay, you can always look out for the place, the kind of place that you. Yes, I did not say walk away from your job. What I said, what I said is move with a plan. You could decide to say, okay, so I'm in this company A now. I want to move to like Cowrywise might have a job, Timmy might have jobs for people here. I'll move to Cowrywise. You prepare yourself for that and you apply to it, and then you're in a faster paced organization. Depends on what your goal is. And then I volunteer for. Okay. Do you think I should move to a company with a team? Oh, it's the same person. Yes, please. Um, you can, but with a plan, right? Move. You'll be able to do your handover properly, and then move. Especially if they have no plans to hire a bigger team, or if they have a very small focus. If you want to be in a big hitting company, yes, you can, but have a plan. Get your job before you move. Don't just start up and say, "Oh, I'm gone." Doesn't not in this economy. Uh,
Yeah, this is the final question.
okay. It is. Am I able to plug in?
You said what?
So am I able to? Okay, so it's called Tensi. It's TEMMSI. There's
Yeah.
only just a few spots a year, and there are just a few spots a year. There could be product marketing, there could be content, there could be different things. Just a short period of time where you have people. It's kind of like the same, but it's like this kind of conversation that I'm having, but over a period of 1 month. That's 8 weekends. That's what it is. So TMSI, that's the name of the program. But it's usually for people who are already like in working already and not like people who are in school.
Thank you so much, Enniye. Just to also, I think that's the last
Yeah.
question, but I also wanted to touch a bit on that. So I provided TMC, right? You can check this out, and if it interests you, you can of course do well to register and be a part of that. So there's also this thing we do in the ambassadors community. At the beginning of every year, we have. I mean, this is just the second edition, anyways. We have career series, and after career series, or while career series is going on,
Mhm.
we open up an application to join the skill-based teams. So what's a skill-based teams are teams where we have different people that would that would what's it called, teach you different career tracks over a period of 3 months. I think 3 months, not 3 months or 6 months. I can't remember at this point, right? You work on different projects, you learn different things, and then at the end of the 3 months, you get opportunity to intern at Cowrywise and some of our partner companies, right?
Mhm.
Some of them eventually get retained as full-time employees after the internship. Some of them move from the internship period to some other companies, right? And we're doing this consistently. I mean, even though we just started career series last year, we've had skill-based teams since 2021, right? And it has been running every year. Like I mentioned earlier, all of the designs that you've seen, every single design that you've seen for career series, for instance, in fact, every single design that relates to the ambassadors community, they are usually being designed by students, by members of the ambassadors community, not designers in Carrywise, right? When you see copies or content, they are usually prepared by members of the ambassadors community, right? Even sometimes some of the mails we get from Timmy from Carrywise, right? They sometimes just write them and say we want to send this to campus ambassadors,
Oh,
right? So we
wow.
have an entire
So it's not
system. People
from
will come and
you.
say, "Oh, Timmy."
It's not from you. Oh,
No, no, no,
wow.
no,
Thank you
no,
for
no,
letting us know.
no, no. People will come and say, "Oh, Tim is the CEO of Carrywise or something." I mean, because we run the ambassadors community more like a company, right? And we have campus leads, we have skill-based leads, we have management team members. They are all members of the ambassadors community. So these are groups that you want to tap into, right? To give you opportunity, they give you platforms to learn, to build on, to work on projects, to build projects, to showcase your projects, and then to move from different parts in your career. We've seen people that came in and they know practically nothing to whatever they want to do. I mean, I know that Rotimi, for instance, interned in 2023. He joined the ambassadors community in 2021. He had zero idea with data analytics, right? He joined the ambassadors
Mhm.
community, joined the skill-based teams of the ambassadors community. They were learning, taking assignments, working on project over a period of 6 months. He applied for the first internship. Of course, he didn't get in the first time until I applied the second time. He got in eventually and he interned with us for 2 months. He left Carrywise. He went on to work at one biggest, what's it called, Pan African company, and then left
Oh,
again to join another venture capital firm as a data analyst just because there's a campus ambassadors community. I can go on and on and on and on to make references or to share or to speak to samples of other people, right? So yeah, ensure that you stick around and trust me, from experience, you would definitely enjoy it. Thank you
yeah.
so much.
Sorry, there's somebody who asked, said he's he said, how do I transition into marketing from social media management? I think the way in usually social media, you to me, anybody who's already working on a product, already working on a brand, I feel like you have an easy way into that. It's just about asking questions. Can I do this? While you're saying, oh, I would like to help with the social media marketing of the business or support with social media marketing, you are trying to learn at the same time, right? You are taking you're asking people for advice, like you've asked me now. I think 100% get some theoretical learning, understand how social media marketing works. Facebook Blueprints is one way. Facebook Blueprints is one way to get some theoretical knowledge or technical knowledge of social media marketing. So do all of that. Request from your team, can I help you with this? I've taken this, I've done that, I've taken this course, I've done some I've taken some, maybe done some activities or helped somebody do this. And if they allow you, you can go in from there, become a social media marketer. There are different branches to go through. I started to do digital marketing. You're already in there. I think you'll be able to move up. Just ask questions, look for technical ways to build your skills and also theoretical ways as well. And that is it.
Thank you so much, Enniye. This was such an amazing time. We've spent almost 2 hours,
Two,
just 4 minutes short of 2 hours, and it's like it feels like
I'm so
I
sorry.
mean
I'm
we've
so
just
sorry.
been here for the past five
I'm
minutes.
very passionate about marketing, so I could go on and on talking
Yeah, I mean
about
it was very obvious. It was
it.
very obvious. Thank you so much. Right, you we just reached out to you to say we want to do this, and you didn't even question it one bit. You just said, "Oh yes, I want to do this with your community." Right? Send me all the dates. We sent that in. Sent you design, you didn't even say, oh, there's a problem with this or that, approved, moved on with publicity. I mean, it was just so seamless, right? Thank you so much. We
You're
really do not
welcome.
take this for granted. If you enjoyed the whole session, can you just drop your favorite emoji just to say thank you to Enniye?
You're
Yep,
welcome.
we are waiting for those emojis. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you,
You're
thank you.
welcome. I think that,
You even went on to you even went on to open slots for, I mean,
well,
mentorship slots for members of
happy
the
to
community.
send me a message on
I mean,
LinkedIn. Happy to help. You should have 1 hour. We chat through whatever it is you're thinking. Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you very
thank you
much.
so
Yeah.
much. Thank
I
you.
wish you all the
Yeah,
best. I wish you all the best. Like, keep winning, guys. There's space for everybody. So,
right. Thank you so
you're
much.
welcome.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
bye. Yeah, it's been so wholesome having to do this over the last 2 hours. And just like me, I want to believe that you every one of you enjoyed the whole session, right? I can't check how many people we have on the call or how many people we've had in total right now, but I want to guess we must have had, say, 400 persons or thereabouts, right? And I mean, I'm very sure that you definitely enjoyed the session. Somebody's asking for her name on LinkedIn. Um, you can check your email if you registered for this session. You can check your email. You will see I mentioned that name in the email, so you can just check that on LinkedIn, right? Somebody also asked to see if they will be getting the slides. Yes, you'll be getting the slides for the session as long as you registered. I mean, because that's the only way we have your email address anyways. Um, I also wanted to say that I mean, for those of you who are aware already, we'll be having the Cowrywise Campus Ambassadors Hangouts at the office tomorrow. People who registered and people who have been granted. Some people, I mean, a lot of people registered, but because of space, we can't take in everyone, right? We've sent in access tickets to people that should show up at the office tomorrow, right? If you have not checked your email, you should do that right away. And if you are still confused or you don't know what that is about, this is what it is about. This is what the Careers Ambassadors Hangout is about. Yeah. So yeah, we are speaking love career connection, right? I don't want to distill what that means right now. So I think I rather want to leave you to figure that out tomorrow for those that will be attending, for those that are registered and for those that got the tickets. If you didn't get the tickets, I'm sorry, you might not be able to join us for the hangout tomorrow, right? Yeah, I think that'll be all from my hand. And hope I would see you guys I hope I will see you guys in the next session. For those of you who registered for multiple sessions, right? The next session will be happening on Sunday by 4 p.m. We'll be having the starting a career in software engineering, which will be facilitated by Bojubola, sorry, a senior software engineer at Netflix. She had, I mean, been through Access Bank, United Bank of Africa, Florida Wave, and now she's at Netflix as a senior software engineer. I mean, I'm sensing something. We had somebody from Spotify today, a music streaming platform. On Sunday, we're having somebody from Netflix, a video streaming platform. Okay, okay. I hold back my thoughts. I wouldn't say anything more than that. So yeah, thank you so much guys for showing up. Thank you for attending this session. And I hope to see you on in the next session on Sunday. Bye and cheers everyone. If you be showing up, if you be attending the next session, can you drop your favorite emoji in the chat box? And don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications so that you can get notified whenever we go live for the next session on Sunday. Till we see you again on Sunday. Bye, everyone.